What's happening, Magnus? The god that wields the dark Mjolnir returns, donning the cloak of wisdom, or to some of you, the hood of knowledge. Now, before I get into this video, I just want you to know I did a collab today, okay? My first collab was with Player Supreme. This one is with Obi from the Dude panel, okay? So I want you to go out and check them out, check their videos out. They answer a lot of answer a lot of questions that are similar to the stuff I answer in my videos, all right? So I think y'all will find them enlightening. There's a lot of different guys. That's why it's called the Dude panel. And what we did was we answered a few of his different subscribers' questions. We had a real fucking good time too, man. He's a cool dude, and what we're going to think about doing, just so you know, and post your comments below and let me know if this is something that you want, we may have hangouts from time to time where we will invite Magnusites and we will invite people from his channel to come in and hang out with us, to join the hangouts, and we will be on cam with you and answer your questions personally live. Woo! So let me know what y'all think, alright? Without further ado, here's the video.
Hey, beautiful ladies of the world. My name is Obi, and this is a special Dude panel video. Today I have a really important guest. His name is Tyrone Magnus from the YouTube channel Tyrone Magnus. Welcome, brother.
What's happening, man?
Well, you know, we got all these questions from all these ladies, and they really need some male insight. Like, they need to know, like, what's going on in the male mind. And so I figured that, you know, we have a special guest. Dude, you seem to be a pretty opinionated guy. Maybe you have some thoughts on some of these questions.
I definitely do, and you know, with me and you together, we're gonna kill this. So,
okay, good.
ladies, your ears.
Okay, so I have some questions. Let's just get into it, man. We have some very, very interesting questions here. Some of them about sex, some about relationships. But this first one, I like, and I really want to know what you think about it.
All right.
Is it okay to send someone that you're dating a sexy pic? Not totally naked, but still half naked.
Well, here's my answer on this. It depends on where you are in the relationship. As far as, like, if you just started dating, you might not want to send pictures too early. And the only reason why I say that is because if a guy is looking for a good woman, you start sending him half-naked pictures in the first couple of days, you might think you're a hoe. He's going to wonder how many other guys you did this with right away. And he may stay interested, but it ain't going to be for the same reasons no more. He's just going to want to hit it and quit it, or hit it for a few times and quit it and move on. Some guys, I think I would say the minority, are going to be okay with it. But most men, I think, that are looking for a good woman are not going to be okay with that. You got to send it later, after y'all start really maybe getting sexual. That's my.
You know, I agree with you there. I'm actually all for the sexy pic. You know, I'm a very visual dude, personally. I'm very visual. You know, like, maybe you're working, maybe you're making a video or something, and then you get this picture, you get this message, and it's a picture, and it's her, and obviously you're attracted to her. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's like, oh, you start thinking about her, so now you're thinking about her when she's not around, which I think is important in a relationship. Women always want to know that you're thinking about them.
That's
but
very.
I agree with you on the sense that if it's too early, then he's gonna be like, oh, okay, like, I know what I'm dealing with now. You know, like, she's gonna be sending me nasty pictures, and he might want to take it as far as he can. So I agree. I think there is a maybe a time. What do you think is is there like a time cutoff? Like, after 3 dates, after 7 dates, after sex? Like, when does that sexy pic come in?
Well, you know what? I want to hit on something you just said. You said, "Oh, I know where to put her." Exactly. We know where to file you at, depending on acting on those first couple of dates. So if you're going to send the pic, I personally believe that say if it's a long distance relationship or you're not able to see each other that much, if you're going to send the sexy pic, you might want to send it when you sense that the relationship is starting to get sexual. That maybe on your next date or the date after, you're probably going to have sex. Or if you had sex talk and flirting on the phone. Of course, you can send them after we had sex because, you know, you just reminded me of what I've already had, you know. So, but if it's before sex, only after the talk has gotten sexual.
Yeah, like it's foreplay to sex. Like this is the beginning of foreplay. You know the sex is happening, so you're warming it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, another relationship type question. She says, I've been with my boyfriend for a while, and even though our sex life is great, I really want to surprise him in a sexual way, like showing up at his door with just a robe on. Please give me more ideas. What kind of sexy surprises do guys love? I really want to blow his mind.
Man, look, as far as I'm concerned, sexy surprises always work. Unless I show up and you got a swing and chains and a whip. You know, that's just going to scare me. But you want to come over in just a trench coat? Shit. I'm going to tell you this, right? I dated a girl who I would say 2 or 3 weeks in, she invited me. I got 2 stories.
Okay.
I won't take too long. So one invited me to the motel. And when I got there, to the motel. She got a motel room and she wanted me to come out there. I said, okay, I'll come after work. It was around 10 o'clock when I got off work. I was tired as hell, feeling down and stressed. As soon as I got there, she opened the door and she had on the garter belts she had all that. And I was on the phone with my boy and I was like, I gotta go. I'm gonna call you. No, I'm not gonna call you right back, but I'll call you later. So that was the first time. But one of the best things a girl ever did for me is this is funny too. It was in another motel room. At a certain point in my life, I was homeless. I was living at a motel and I was trying to get myself together. But she asked for the key to my room. And I was like, okay. I thought she was actually going to set up a dinner. When I got there, she had all these small round candles, right? Yeah. Like a walkway to the bed.
Yes.
She was laying on the bed on like white rose petals and her black lingerie, and the candles were around her. I was like, shit. I was like, wow, okay. She went above and beyond the call of duty.
I'm gonna affirm that here actually, because a similar thing happened to me with the candle situation. I was actually with the woman I was dating, and we were about to have sex, and you know, she was like, "Do you have a condom?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have a condom." And she's like, "Oh, you know, you gotta go get a condom." And I'm just like, you know, like I understand, you know, gotta be safe in the streets. So I went across the street to go get a condom. When I came back, the door was cracked, and I opened the door, and just like you, candles as like a little walkway, but hers was leading to the bathroom. I walked into the bathroom, she was in the tub, just naked, just ready.
Oh, man.
And I was just like, I felt like such a king. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, man, like she was thinking about this, and she had planned, like she had it all planned out, or maybe it was whatever. Like,
condom, but set it up at the same time.
Yeah, and so, because you know, sometimes you can be like, oh, you're in the moment, and then like the condom thing, you're like, ah, so it's like it kind of breaks the mood a little bit, and so it instantly got me back in the mood. I was like, all right, yeah, let's go, let's do this.
Yeah.
And
so
I think that makes a man feel like treasured or something. Like it makes a man feel like, how did you feel when you saw all of that?
You feel catered to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is something big. It's just like coming home to a candlelight dinner. Well, I don't give a damn about candlelight dinner, but a real nice dinner on the table you didn't expect. Like it's like, wow, this that make you think about marrying a woman when they do stuff.
Right? Nurture, taken care of, you know. Like so I feel like any surprises that a woman does that makes you feel like a man, like makes you feel like more of a man, is always gonna be good. You know?
Yeah.
Like anytime she can like really like put you up and make you feel like in your masculinity, I think that's just you know, that's
so
that's a road. I don't know what else.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it's funny too because she asked, "Is that okay?" So you already understand, young lady, that it's okay that you surprise him. But she asked second, "What should I do?" And we just gave you a couple of ideas.
Yeah.
But if it's, I mean, if it's waiting in the tub or man, anything your mind can think of, as long as it's not too out in left field. Because certain things will scare guys, you know what I mean?
True. Yeah,
like if you come home and you got like a mini dildo to an 18-inch dildo laid on the bed, you know, he might not be ready for that, right? Some dudes would be like, hell yeah, honey, I ain't got no problem with that, but try to go shoot in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think it's good to know a little bit about him. If you know a little bit about him, then you can kind of understand what he's going to really like. And then you can just go there with it. But if you don't know too much about him, then you don't want to go too far out there because he might be down, but then it might be a little bit too jarring. Like he comes in from work and then it's like, you know, chains and whips and shit. Like he might be, whoa, it's a big jump.
You're right. Like me, I'm a type of guy that's more of I don't want to say romantic, but I'm more sensual about my lovemaking. So the girl that opened the door with the lingerie on, the one that had the candles laying on the bed of roses, that works perfectly for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like this one girl told me she surprised her husband on his birthday with another girl.
Oh, how did that work out?
Yeah, and he didn't want it. It bothered him. You see that? It was too left field for him.
Yeah.
Now, it depends because sometimes men, believe it or not, will start to feel totally committed and dedicated to only you. And when they do, if they're sharing their lovemaking with another woman, they don't like it. Now, I would say that's probably the minority. But, like, for example, if I came to my girl's house and she had another girl there, I'd be somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Only because the way my girl is, I'd wonder if she's going to get like, am I paying too much attention to this one? Well, you don't grip me like that when you. Oh, here we go. You know what I'm saying? So, but some dudes keep that up.
Yeah.
So
I would appreciate the gesture, but I would agree. I think it would be a little. I wouldn't know how to deal with it. Yeah, I think, like I said, I feel like stuff like that. It's important for you to know your man and to kind of know where he is. If he had already talked about fantasies about stuff like that, then you kind of know where to take it. But if not, then you might just err on the side of caution. But as far as like being sexual and being sexy and doing something really awesome for him, taking care of him, I think that's always going to be pretty much always going to be good.
You're absolutely correct on that. If you know your man, then you know what he's going to like. If you have to think, would he like that? Don't do it. Yeah. Do what you know. Err on the side of caution. Do what you know he's going to love, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if you need to take it, you can go there on what you know he loves, and then take it just a little bit further. So he's just like, oh, like that's something that's never happened, but still in that same zone that he's familiar with, right?
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got one from a 24-year-old. She says, I like working out and taking care of myself. My husband, on the other hand, has been gaining a lot of weight ever since we got married. It's getting to the point where it's affecting me, and it's affecting our sex life. I'm not so attracted to him anymore. I've told him he should work out and get hotter for me and things like that, but he says that he feels fine, or that if I love him, that being fat shouldn't matter. So how do I tell him to lose weight so our sex life can get better without hurting his feelings? Or am I totally totally wrong for me to be attracted to money. It's interesting because I hear this from guys. Like I hear guys saying, "Oh, actually, a friend of mine. I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine last week where he told me that he broke up with his girl because she gained 30 pounds and he was no longer attracted to her like he was when they first started dating."
30's.
And 30, yeah, 30 is a good amount of weight. And so he actually broke up with her, and he told her. He didn't tell her at the time that it's because of her weight, but he told her later on because they had a very close relationship. And so I know guys I've talked to many guys who have this issue and who aren't really sure what to do. So it's interesting that a woman being in this situation, wow, I feel like being attracted to the person you're with is really important. Obviously, like attraction. There's so many other parts of the character and the human being that you're attracted to that makes you want to be in a relationship with them. But the visual, the physical, like that is huge. Like I know a lot of women who are great, who are wonderful women, who I'm not attracted to. But if I were attracted to them, I would be interested in having a relationship with them. I mean, I have a girlfriend now, but I would be really interested in them. But without that aspect, without that physical sexual attraction, like it's like I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey, well, it goes both. Yeah, women. This is a question that goes both ways. Okay. Just think about it, and I think I heard someone say it like this: what you did to get him, you got to keep doing to keep him.
Yeah.
Same thing for men. If you came in the relationship in shape, okay. Hey, look, if you came in like LL Cool J, now you riding like Big Meech. Because she's still gonna love you.
Yeah.
But I mean, how can you expect her to have been attracted to a man that with a bodybuilder or a chiseled physique, and then you want to give her something that she never was attracted to?
Yeah.
Women need to think the same way. Don't do that to your man. Trust me, because it does affect us.
Yeah, it's true. So what does she do? She said she's told him to work out and get harder for her. Maybe she could have been a little bit.
Let me tell you something. I gotta tell you this though.
Okay.
If my girl had said that to me, it would have hurt, but I would have understood, and I'd have been in the gym the very next day. Because don't nothing motivate a man like his woman.
That is true. That is
not all the time. Sometimes if you got to know your man, just like we said previously, you got to know how to talk to him. Sometimes you might have to poke him with a knife, not stab him. Don't stab him in the heart with your words, but just poke him, prod him, because there's a way to ask a man certain things. If you harping on doing the dishes, you're like, honey, do the dishes, help me. That irritates a man. But if you said that, hey, do the dishes, you dick, it's your turn, he'll be like, he might respect that. He'd be like, do the dishes, all right, I'll do it. That was funny though,
Yeah.
It's all in how you ask a man.
That's true. I like that. It's all in the ask. I agree.
How you ask. Yep, because it's like a girl, she'll do almost anything you want. You just got to know how to ask.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe he didn't respond well to you got to get hotter to me. You got to get hotter for me. Maybe he didn't like that.
Funny? It sounds like he didn't even get mad. It sounds like he was just like, look, if you love me, you're going to accept it. Like, he don't even give a fuck. Like, that's what the tone of the female is. And let's check this out. I know two guys, right, where two guys told their girlfriends that they were gaining weight in two different ways, right? And one was the pot calling the kettle black. Listen to this short story, right? So one guy, he was having problems with his girl. They were having trust issues. The girl was being a little negative in the relationship. And lastly, basically, the girl was gaining a little bit of weight. They weren't having sex much. And she asked him, like, why haven't we been intimate? And he said, listen, what you did this time is bothering me. I'm having trust issues with that. you're being negative about a lot of things with me trying to work things out. And last, I ain't gonna lie, you gaining a little bit of weight. The girl flipped out. She didn't even hear the first two reasons. I mean, trust issues and negativity, those are big. You getting a little bit of weight ain't that big, but it's big for women. So the other guy hears the story, right? Because they're all friends. The other guy hears the story. He's like, he told her she gained weight. How can he say that, this and that? Couple weeks later, his wife is going to Wawa to get herself some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And he said, when you going to the gym? Yeah, she said, honey, I'm stepping out to go get some ice cream. And he said, yeah, when you going to the gym? Now, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? And she said, you had the nerve to talk about him mentioning her weight. And you just asked me, when the fuck am I going to the gym? You must be crazy. It's all in how you ask. And both women got mad. Yeah. But I thought that the first person's approach was less than the last one. I mean, his was abrupt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you said that to your girl. I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A. You want something? When you going to the gym? I mean, that shit hurt. But if she said, oh, well, honey, we're having problems, and to be truthful, you're gaining a little bit of weight, that's not going to hurt as much as when you go into the gym. I mean, so it's all in how you ask, ladies.
It is. We have egos. Everyone has an ego, and I think everyone has a big ego, even if they pretend like they don't. And so when you're talking about the way you look, I know that's always going to be a touchy subject. Always, always, always. But I do agree. I think, so this is what I like. I like what they call the sexy sandwich, right? You kind of put in, it's like, hey, man, like, you're such an amazing, amazing man. Did I tell you how much I love you? I noticed that you might have been gaining a little weight, and so it concerns me a little bit, but man, like, you smell awesome.
That's like the first half of the Jerry Springer confession. It's like, I love you. I'm in love with another man. Like it's the first half is like the bread, the meat, and then there's no apology on the bottom. So that's a full sandwich right there.
You gotta put the sandwich together because it's easier to eat that way. But I think she. So if the sex life isn't getting better, what she should do? She should leave him, or what? Like if he's just like no, like I'm not gonna like if you don't love me, then fine. Then I mean, what should she do? She's not attracted to him anymore.
I think that she should. I personally think that she should. At some point where they're comfortable, just sit down and just express her feelings and tell them how she's feeling. Use exactly what we said, like how basically you're becoming physically somebody that I didn't initially get with, and sexually that's bothering me. Emotionally, I still love you. You're still the greatest man in the world to me. But physically, sexually, you got to realize we're just not going to be having sex anymore. Because, part of sexual attraction is visual. Men are more visual, but women are still visual. They still like to see what they see. That's part of initial attraction. Unless you work with somebody or met somebody and they grew on you, that type of relationship. Did he grow on you and you found out what it was? She was with him when he looked good.
Yeah.
So I think she just, and then, seriously, if it totally gets out of hand, then she might have to leave him. Sex is an important part of a relationship.
Oh, so important.
Exactly. Sarah told me about a guy that was fat, and she tried and tried and tried to make it work because he was great in every other aspect, but he never lost any weight. And she said the sex was horrible. And she said eventually it just ended.
You can look at a relationship, and if someone's having problems, you gotta be like, how's the sex life? Because I don't want to make it seem as if sex is everything, but when the sex is good,
that can be a big ass band-aid, can it? A whole lot of fucking problems.
There's not problems decrease when the sex is really good, and I find that the problems increase when the sex isn't good or when it's not. So this is one of those questions. It's like one of those age-old questions, and I have it for you here. Is there a right time to say I love you? what does saying "I love you" mean to a guy?
Is there a right time to say I love you?
You know, like I feel like sometimes women they're not sure when to say it because they feel like if they say it too early, then they're gonna scare him away. So is there a time, or is it just whenever you feel it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's definitely not early. Definitely don't say it early. Say
What is it?
that.
How many dates? How much time? And how when does that kick in?
Look, the only way I would say it early, if you are one of these, you have one of these fantasy dates. You know, these people that meet and it's love at first sight, and you're talking and you meet for hours and it's 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, and you get married in Vegas. You can say you love each other, but I don't think, like, I think it has to be. I don't even think a few weeks in you should say it.
Mm,
For most guys, I think that it needs to be said at a point where he might suspect it's coming. You
okay.
know, like a lot of guys won't say it first anyway.
Yeah.
So when there's a point where you know that you love each other, I think you should say it, which is probably 2 to 3 months in or something like that, maybe. You know,
Mm,
I just don't think it should be said within the first few weeks. I definitely don't think like that. Sometimes you feel it though, and I think, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. There's a point where you feel it, like you know you love this woman and you know she loves you. And if she say it, it's not going to push him away. He's not going to.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's really important. I think that's the most important thing because it's really difficult to say, oh, don't say it at this time or this time. I feel like you have to be tuned in to the other person. So she has to be able to kind of see where he is. Like, if she can tell that he's having some feelings too, and she can kind of tell, like, I've had a woman say, she was like, you would look at me sometimes, and I can kind of see it in your eyes that maybe you wanted to say something, or maybe that you were feeling it, but then you didn't say it. And so, like, and so I feel like if her woman's intuition is like super dialed in, she can see where he is. And so when she says I love you, then she'll know that he's not. It's not like way out of the blue. It's not like he's watching the game eating a cheeseburger, and then she's like, hey, I love you. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like she has to be tuned in. I think the whole I love you thing, she has to really be tuned in.
Right. And you hit it on the head when you said use her women's intuition. I always tell my subscribers, trust your gut. The majority of the time, your gut is right. And if she said she was looking at you, and she knew you wanted to say it, but you didn't. That was the right time. She could have told you, it'll let your guard down, and you probably would have said it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she said it first. Men don't like feeling vulnerable. Keep that in mind. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, if you feel it late.
I have, I feel like when you feel something very strongly, like something like love, really, it's not something that exists in a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're feeling it that strongly, there's really highly, highly good chance that he's feeling it too. You know?
Yeah, don't go with that puppy love. The
Yeah,
puppy love,
exactly. It can't be that. It can't be that one though. It's got to be that real gut feeling.
it's that initial attraction and infatuation. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of time that's a mask. That's
Yeah.
like a flood of hormones making you feel that way. You got to make sure,
Yeah.
and then once you really feel it, because people that are experienced with dating or with relationships know the difference between puppy love or infatuation and real love. They know the difference.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell Sarah I loved her until I would say maybe 8 or 9 months in.
Yeah.
And we were having a conversation, and I was guarded at the time. And in the conversation, I was like, I get a feeling that you're starting to feel a certain way about me. She was like, yeah. I was like, and I'm feeling the same way about you. And that was kind of my way of confirming, okay, you love me? But I think she actually said the words first after I kind of made that confirmation with her. She'll swear to this day, you said it to me first. I said, look, I'm telling you, I didn't say it first because I know that I've never said it first in any relationship.
Yeah.
So
Guys are, guys aren't the best at expressing their emotions in this way. Like we express ourselves, but I don't think we're so super emotional in the way that we can express ourselves always with words like, girl, I love you like 1,000 shining suns and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I think it's difficult for us to get that vulnerable. Just like, to like go there, it's like not always easy. So,
Love you like 1,000 suns. Yeah, man. Like, and you know what's funny too? Creeping on to another subject. That's a woman. That's a man that most women don't want anyway, because he's a little too sensitive.
Yeah.
And most women want a masculine man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this one girl I knew, she told me that her boyfriend. Well, she told me, she said, I feel he's a little bit too sensitive. I was like, well, what do you mean? She said, I already made him cry twice. I'm like, what? You made him cry twice? And then I saw her Facebook page, and this was like a few weeks later. I was scrolling down. I was looking like her past posts, and I saw he had sent her a video. And this is exactly what he did, ladies. He went like this. I miss you to the moon. And, oh my God. No. Now I see why she runs him. I see why he's sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times men aren't good at expressing it like that.
Yeah.
But just know that we are as sensitive as you are, women.
Most
we express it in different ways.
Most definitely.
We'll buy you a brand new car. And trust me, if a man buys you a brand new car, just because he wasn't sending you flowers every other week and cards and writing love notes and all that, trust me, that is one of the biggest things we could do is empty our pocket of several tens of thousands of dollars to get you a car. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I think what women kind of feel like that guys are like robots or something, and because we don't express it in the same way they express it, so they're like, I don't know if he loves me, or I don't know, blah. Like, just check out other things that he's doing, like check out other things he's doing, and then you'll see that he's expressing his love in a different way. So, like, don't think, ladies, we have feelings too, but it just comes out differently. So help him, help him. Like, if you kind of feel that he's there, help him express it by maybe being a little bit more expressive yourself.
Yeah, and you could baby step into it. You could sit down and ask the question, hey, listen, I feel like my feelings are growing for you. Like, I'm starting to feel a certain type of way. I want to know, do you feel the same way? And then he'd be like, yeah. You can be like, you too. That'll break the door down.
Yeah.
Like, all right, she said it. Okay. Don't feel like a punk, ladies. Don't feel like a sissy or whatever for telling us, or don't feel vulnerable for telling us you love us first, because men are just naturally more reserved. And tell you the truth, we usually expect you to say it first anyway. So if you say it first, we're not going to be mad either way. It's just saying it at the appropriate time. That's all.
Yeah. It kind of gives us space to enter that zone, Like, he might just be a little bit nervous about entering that zone. He feels it. He's not sure. But then when you kind of lay out that carpet, then it's like, okay, all right, cool. I'm safe here. I can go there with her. We're good. He's worried too. He might be worried that if he says it, that you're going to run off. So you got to help him with that.
And I think men have a harder time dealing with somebody running off because of saying I love you than women do. Because we're just, we're men. We're supposed to be tough and strong. But if we tell you that too early, shit hurts.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of guys have dealt with in the past. They said, when they were teenagers, they're like, I like you. And then she never wanted to talk to him ever again. So
I've heard a guy say I love you, and then the girl's like, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah. I think everyone's worried about that. So, but like I said, you gotta really trust your feelings. Get past the infatuation, get hormones, the honeymoon. I like to call it the honeymoon stage of dating, where everything's great and everyone's amazing. There's no insecurities or fears. When you can get past that and then you feel it for real, then I think you're clear. All systems go. You know, bring in the plane. It's all good.
And you know what I think too is another rule of thumb. Personally, for me, I think the 6-month mark is good, and the reason why is because the honeymoon stage is over usually by 6 months. That's when people show you their fucking ass. You know exactly what they're like. They're not nice anymore with certain things. Certain things are cute no more. You know kind of who you're dealing with by 6 months.
Yeah.
What was that?
Some garbage man is going ham right now outside. So please.
I thought something Godzilla was attacking. Yeah, so I think that's a good point because you've had a chance to get over the honeymoon, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't really need to elaborate. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that for me, I feel like the honeymoon stage is like 90 days to 6 months. All right.
I was going to say 3 to 6. I was going to say 3 to 6, but I know it's over at 6.
Yeah, at 6, you're not. Yeah, you guys are in it. You're in
now,
it.
let me ask you this, right? This is kind of related to it. This woman I know. Okay, if you go to my videos, right? Go to my recent uploads, and if you scroll back, you're gonna see a good-looking Filipino woman. She's in her late 40s. She's been dating this guy for 3 months. He's hooked. I mean, he's hooked, and he already wants to get tattoos.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now, I personally think that their honeymoon stage isn't over. I think he's infatuated with her. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's like, oh, I've never met a woman like you before, and my God, the sex, and this and that, and oh my God, and you're so beautiful. And he doesn't even want her to work out at her old gym because she used to date the manager of the gym. He's like all scared and messed up. I'm like, look, that man is infatuated with you, and don't get a tattoo. I did a video on that. I was like, don't do it. You know what I mean? So.
You know what's funny? We get questions about tattoos, and we got a question about that too. We're not gonna talk about it today, but yeah, I totally agree with you, man. Sometimes the honeymoon stage lasts longer, and clearly this guy is still love drunk. You know, it hasn't settled in yet. I'm not to say that he's not gonna still have those feelings for you. He's not gonna still love you in that way, but I feel like it just settles down. Like you're just not so. I don't know. You don't have the rose-colored shades on anymore. Like you see things.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So this next question is about once you're already in the relationship. Now, this is how she starts it off. This is how she starts off the question. I hate blowjobs.
You hate happy relationships. Just so you know.
Okay, so I think we might be okay. All right, so it's just not my thing. That's not my thing. It's more of a problem for my boyfriend, clearly, than it is for me. What should I do? I hate it when he gets upset about it.
All right. If you want my opinion on this, just kind of 2 ways to look at this. I've heard from several women that if a girl says she hates giving head, it's usually because she doesn't think she's good at it. She doesn't do well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from 2 women that I know. So if that's the possibility, buy yourself a dildo, practice, and get good at it. Then you'll like it because he's going to lose his mind. And fact of the matter is, as a woman, you're going to love having that control over him during those sessions. I know how y'all think. You're going to start using it to get favors and tricks and money and presents. But that's one way to look at it. Go ahead, man. Say what you're going to say. Cause I don't.
Yeah. Okay. So this is I feel very strongly about blowjobs here. Okay. Now, blowjobs for me. I need blowjobs. Okay. Not even that I love blowjobs. Okay. I need it. It's required. Like it's so like let's say if I'm having sex and I don't get a blowjob, like I feel like okay, sex is great, and it's great, sex is good, I feel great, but it's almost like someone just kind of came in, they threw a meal at you. It was like, here's a meal, and then you didn't get any appetizers or desserts or anything like that. You didn't get a drink. You know, it was just like, here's a meal. It was delicious. It was a great meal, but the presentation was just all, and I didn't get all the things I want. Like I want the full course. And so,
yeah,
like the blowjob is super important, like super important. In fact, I was like, yo, like in my relationship I'm with now, like in the beginning, I didn't feel like I was getting enough blowjobs, and I had to talk about it. I had to be like, you know, this sex is great, you're amazing, everything's awesome, but you know.
Nah, you had to say something. I never had to say nothing. And what's funny is, for some men it's an appetizer, for some men it's dessert. Me, it's more of a dessert than appetizer. Like I really love having it. And here's the way, ladies, just so you know, if you absolutely just think it's a nasty habit and you don't want to do it sexually, like some people truly feel that way. Like some men I know, I've met, they absolutely won't eat coochie.
Yeah.
They won't do it. I think it's something that you should kind of slip in the conversation when you're getting to know each other, because the men that it's very important to will write you off. Will write it off right away, and then slowly weed you out, and you won't hear from us again. And then the dude that it doesn't matter much to, he'll still be in your life.
So I think that is key right there. Like for me, when I read the question, I was just like, how did they get into? How did they become boyfriend and girlfriend? And this was not something that was brought up, or not something that came up at all. Like, how is it now they're dating, and then now she hates it, and now he's like upset about it? Like, why wasn't that talked about?
Some dudes think that they're going to get more as the relationship goes on. That's probably how you were. You're probably like, oh, she loves me. She going, you know, and I don't think that's stupid. I think that's like, okay, you know, women usually open up more sexually as the relationship goes on.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you get anal in the beginning.
Yeah.
Usually you get somewhere near the middle. Right? So, yeah, you know, it's let them know up front what you do. Cause
you should have these conversations in the first few dates. Like I feel like anytime you put off the sexual talk, the sexual attention, all that stuff, when you put that off and you just like talking about the weather and favorite color and shit, all the like that, you're not really getting into, like, you don't really know who the person is. Like, you gotta go there. You gotta be not afraid to talk about this stuff. And so the fact that she later on says, I hate blowjobs, like, that's just not, for me, if he clearly is upset about it, he clearly loves getting blowjobs, like, this might be a deal breaker for him. Like, so I really can't, she says, I hate it when he gets upset about it. Now, I don't know whether she says, I hate it, like, it worries me, disappointed, like, I'm sad that he gets upset about it, or like she gets mad that he gets upset about it, because I think those are two different things. The fact of the matter is, he gets upset about it because it's important to him. Like, I understand that it's not important to you, but it's important to him, and it's not a small thing. Like, it's not like this is a big deal for him. So you cannot write it off. You either have to start to love it, like I said, if you don't feel like you're good at it, maybe you should start getting good at it and start to love it, or realize that maybe you guys are not sexually compatible, and that's a problem. If you're not sexually compatible, that's a problem.
Yeah, and you know what? I had a girl. Let me tell you this too, girls. Because I'm thinking about it. The prettier you are, if the man is into blowjobs, it's a must. It's mandatory. Like, it's utopia for him. Okay. There's a girl I know on my Facebook page, and she had like some braces, or she had Invisalign. She had something done, and like in the first few days or something like that, she couldn't, or a few weeks, she wasn't allowed to give head. She wasn't allowed. And she was like, I'm so glad I don't have to do, or like her cousin told me, she was like, I'm so glad I ain't gotta give head now. And I was like, because she looks good, like my brother. If you know, my brother got a thing for her. If a woman that looks like that don't want to give head, it's like a woman with breasts that won't give you titty fuck. You know, like it's like you why? Therefore, you know, like a girl with a big ass that won't let you fuck from behind.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. Blowjobs are a beautiful thing. They're a beautiful.
Let me turn
thing.
it around, ladies. A guy with a long tongue that don't eat coochie. Now you understand, right? All right.
He just doesn't want to eat like at all. Like if he doesn't want to go down on you at all, like how would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? You know, like I'm sure you probably would not like that. It's the same.
How girls are. Oh my God, do I smell? What's wrong? Oh, is it ugly?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you could be giving him all kinds of insecurities right now because you're not willing to go down there. Like this is how I feel. Like when I get a blowjob, I feel like you desire me. Like I feel like really desired. Like I'm the man. Like you want me. Like you give me that dick. Like you want.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes me feel awesome.
You do. You feel more desired. It's more.
Yeah.
It's more of an intimate act.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It just makes me feel like the man. And when I feel like the man, I'm gonna make you feel like the woman. You know, like because that's how it is. It's a balance. Like the man has to have the woman. Like so, if I'm not feeling like the man, then that's gonna affect our relationship. And so, if that's gonna make me feel like the man, then you should make me feel like the man. Like do not be afraid of the blowjob. Like I will preach this until the end of time. I will always argue. This point. I had a woman told me last week. I was in San Diego, and she was like, we had a little party at my friend's house, and afterwards we're all just kind of talking about sex. And then she was like, yeah, I don't like giving head, and I don't give my man blowjobs. And I'm like, we would never be in a relationship then. Like we would never ever work because of that.
If you're live enough, we might hit you off. But there's not going to be a relationship. Just so you know, I'm not marrying you because it's something I need to survive for the rest of my life. Yo, let me tell you.
I'm gonna say that.
No, go ahead.
I think a lot of men feel this way the same way we do. Like I don't feel like this is like we're like special cases here. Like I feel like a lot of men feel this way. So I'm gonna say this in general, women. If you love doing this and you get good at doing this, even if you just have to if you just really have the enthusiasm, you know, and you just love doing this, you will always have, at least sexually, you're always going to have that great sexual compatibility because men love getting head. Just love it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you just how important it is to men. It's more important than your vagina. And this is what I mean by that. Just listen to me. If, say, okay, me and him buddies, all right? If say me and him ain't buddies. We know each other, right? Mm-hmm. Now say my girl cheated on me with him. Okay? Follow me here. If me and him confronted each other in public and he says, yeah, I fucked your girl, we might fight. But if he says, I fucked your girl, and she sucked my dick. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? See, that's why he's laughing. Because he knows we would rather, if you're going to cheat or do anything with another dude, please, I would rather you fuck him than you suck his dick. And if you only just sucked his dick, that's worse. That's worse. Trust me. That's why he's laughing. Because he knows that shit is true.
It's really funny though. It's funny that you say that because it's like you think that just sex, like normal intercourse, is like a super intimate act, and it is. It's like a super intimate act. But for some reason, I feel like sex is almost like, of course we're gonna have sex. Like that's just like, yeah, if we're gonna get sexual, we're gonna have sex. Like of course. But then anytime you throw in like blowjobs and anal and all the other stuff, those are like outliers. And so it's almost like more intimate because it's not like a given.
Right. It's not a given act. Although we might be shooting ourselves in the foot saying it's not a given act.
No, even for me.
It is for a continued relationship.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, they are extras. It's like fries with your burger. You're gonna eat the burger, but I want some fries.
Yeah.
Fucking
If you eat the burger without the fries, you kind of feel a little bit like you miss out on something. So no, I completely agree. And for me, it's part of it. It is part of the course. But I understand that not every woman loves to do that. But like I said, if you do, then you're you're just like up here, like you're just like
yeah,
here, you know.
yeah.
Keep it in mind.
Really good at it. My God, like me personally, I can't speak for you, but I know I'm falling in love faster. If they're really good at it, you fall in love faster, and we can call that infatuation or whatever. That's like a home cooked meal to me. I'm sorry, I'm falling in love faster.
This is true. This is so true. In fact, when we have our Do Panel Radio podcast, I think our first episode, we spent 25 minutes talking about blowjobs, and we went through the 5 stages of blowjobs, like level 1 through level 5, like a level 5 blowjob. And so, just to let you know how important it is, like we have.
Oh man, you're gonna have to send me that link because I never
You know, check it out in the description box below. We're gonna have links, and you will check out the Do Panel Radio podcast.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's what we have today for you ladies. I think that we're gonna do this again. What do you think, man? I think you gave some good insight.
This was fun. I like this.
If you have, let us know. Let us section below because we want to continue this conversation. So check out the comment section below. Please add your comments and check out my man Tyrone Magnus. Where is your channel? Can you please give them the channel?
Yes, Tyrone Magnus. Tyrone Magnus.
We're gonna have that also in the description box below. So make sure to check it out and subscribe. He answers questions just like us. Also has lots of other creative videos on his channel. And also up here, I will probably have, yep, there we go. Subscribe button's right there. Boom, boom, right there. All right.
And make sure you check out my man's here too. I will have his link in my description box too. All right.
All right. So you have a wonderful, sexy day, ladies. Marinades on what you've learned today, and we will see you very soon.
All right.